In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to apply your asphalt driveway sealer and filler. Now you should do this every year. It keeps out all the rain in the late fall from going into your driveway and freezing and cracking your driveway over the winter. Now if this is the first time you're doing it, this is probably a little bit intimidating to you. It's not that hard at all. Once you do it once, you'll be like, well, this was really easy. Why haven't I done this all along? You know, you're not going to save a whole lot of money by doing it yourself other than having a professional company come do it. The driveway that I'm doing, I was quoted at $250, and that's about what I paid for all the buckets of sealer. Now I'm going to give you a couple tips along the way. First tip, if you've noticed, my buckets are upside down. So today's Saturday. Let's say you're going to seal your driveway on a Saturday. I recommend you go buy your sealer on Wednesday and bring them home and flip all the buckets upside down. Now when this stuff was manufactured maybe 6-7 months ago, it was put onto pallets, it was stored at a warehouse that got moved to a distribution center, shipped to a truck, to Home Depot. So I sat on their floor for a while. So it's been sitting upright for at least probably 6-7 months. Now the high quality stuff doesn't separate too bad, but to turn it upside down for a good 36 hours is going to help reincorporate itself. Some of the cheaper stuff you're definitely going to want to stir yourself, but this stuff here was about like $29 per 5-gallon pail. If you want to stir it, you're going to have a pretty heavy duty drill, otherwise you're going to burn your drill up stirring it. But this is a no stir formula. It says there's no stirring needed. This is the same kind I've used in the past, and I've never stirred it before. As long as you leave them upside down for a good 2-3 days, when you pour it out, it's pretty well mixed. I'm going to get started here shortly. I'm going to show you a couple tips along the way. You're going to want your driveway as clean as possible, and we'll start by using the weed eater, trimming back the grass along the edges, and any dirt that's risen up along the side, we'll just cut that back a little bit with a shovel. Now I'm going to move on to a leaf blower to blow off the entire driveway. So let's get started. Now that you've got your driveway all nice and clean, if you have any cracks in your driveway, now's the time to fill your cracks. This driveway is relatively new. There's no cracks in here that I need to fill, but this is the point where you're going to want to use any type of crack filler for your driveway before you start putting down your sealer. Now in order to spread your sealer, you're going to want about an 18-inch squeegee. I would not go any smaller than that, so a minimum of an 18-inch squeegee. And if you're kind of new to sealing, which you probably are if you're watching this video, I recommend like a big 4-inch brush. And you can bring your sealer close to the edge of your driveway and your garage door with the squeegee. And I recommend you use the brush to get it in close. A lot of newbies, when they're dragging the sealer across, they have a little too much coming off the end. And some of that will get onto your garage floor, or you'll have big pools of it on the side of your asphalt. So get the sealer close with the squeegee, and then I recommend brushing in the edges. It's going to turn out a little bit better for you that way. Professionals don't need to use this. They do this stuff all day long, every day, and they can bring it right to the edges with no pooling. Another thing, I like to use latex gloves inside a regular pair of work gloves. If you get this stuff on your hands fingers and arms and clothing, it does not like to come off. If you get it on your hands, you can wash it off right away, but if you leave it sit, you're going to be scrubbing a long time. Any of this stuff that gets on any of your lawn equipment, if you splash some on your garage door, you're going to want to remove it right away or you're never going to get it off. Before you spread out your sealer, I like to wet the asphalt with the garden hose. You don't want puddles. I'm just going to kind of spray over it with a fine mist to get the asphalt a little bit wet. Like I said, you don't want puddles, you just want it a little bit wet. It's going to help you spread it, and it's going to give a little bit more coverage to your sealer. Now you are going to want to put your sealer down when it's at least 60 degrees. 60 and higher is better. Don't ever pour your sealer out if it's below 60 degrees. It's about 67 right now. It's starting to get a little bit warm. I'm probably going to have to change my shirt. But this is ready. And I'm going to pour a line all the way across the end of the drive right here. Just don't dump out the entire bucket and start spreading it. You're going to pour a line maybe about 7-8 inches wide all the way across, and then we're going to start squeegeeing it. You're going to pull your squeegee at a slight angle. Never push it. You're always going to pull it, and you don't really need much down pressure. You're just going to kind of drag it. I'll show you that here in a second. This is where, when you're new to this, you can take your brush, you just take some sealer, get it right up to the edge of your concrete, and now you don't have to worry about any of the sealer rolling over into your garage floor. This is why you want a nice big 4-inch brush. You get it in there and you can paint a line right along the edge. And once you've used your paintbrush, you've got right up to the edge of your concrete, you go ahead and start squeegeeing back and forth. Careful when you get to the edges that you don't roll over much sealant. At some point you're going to be able to tell where my edges are getting thin and the middle has quite a bit of sealer. Once you get to that point, it's time to lay down another row of sealer. put a little bit more on the ends, or wherever you're low, just add a little bit more there, and we're going to keep doing the same thing. So another tip why it's nice to have this brush: when you take the lid off, this is all the material I got off of this lid. I like to take the brush, get all the material off, then just lay the brush on the lid until we go to the next bucket. Now I'm about 7 to 8 feet out from where I started, and I'm going to start up the leaf blower and just blow the next about 8-foot section. I like to come out about 8 feet at a time, use the leaf blower, blow any little dust or debris that may have gotten on the driveway while I was doing that section there. Now I have the next about 8-foot section all cleared off. Go ahead and make sure that it's still damp from your hose. If it's super hot or if it's really windy, you may have to re-wet this area. And we'll continue on with the same method. Then once you get all the way to the end of your driveway, you can brush in the edges out there as well. Congratulate yourself on a job well done. You did it yourself, you probably saved yourself maybe $100. This driveway, a little over 1,500 square feet, took 9 5-gallon pails of sealer. Took me about 4.5 hours from start to finish. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good luck on your project, and thanks for watching.